Hopefully that works. Hopefully that all works. I don't like that. Whoa. Oh, whoa, there's people. Oh, God. Oh, my God, there's people. Oh, well, maybe. Where do I want? What do I want? How do I want it? Meow. I want to flip off this. Why is this chat bar so small? I'm dealing with... I'm eepy, everybody. I'm very eepy. I'm very eepy. So, I'm gonna need y'all to do me the biggest solid tonight. Where, hopefully we can have some stuff to talk about and keep engaged, or I might fall asleep on you. Really quickly to start out with all of this. Yeah, when it's Solace hosting, yeah, you have to be ready for anything on screen. You never know what's gonna happen. Trust. So I'm gonna do my favorite patented Solace read off. This is the After Bark. Unfortunately, Ruby has things going on, and Misha's still traveling after doing the Mariners and Seahawks game and doing stuff out in Seattle with Argo and friend. So is Solos. I like that, Carnelian. Speaking of Carnelian Fox, welcome on in. We have Landon Ian. Hello. Quaddle. Hi. How are you? Gamagan. Oh, whoa. We've got Rays Bays. We've got Nacaps Panther. We've got Key. We got Alistair the Hyena, Gray Old Fox. Hello. Did you hear that you're allowed to curse on YouTube within the first few minutes of the video now? Supposedly, you are now allowed to curse within the beginning of a stream or video, and advertisers are not supposed to be affected. But as YouTube is, this is an werewolf episode, basically. Basically, but learning the hard knocks of YouTube is they'll do something and then they'll retroactively pull shit back like 3 months later, 2 months later, or hell, it might not even make 30 days because advertisers may be like, you know, we really don't want Gwyneth Paltrow. But yeah, we it's typically not, it's probably in better form to not swear at the beginning again, because I feel like advertisers are gonna be huffity about it. I'm finally able to move into my new house on Monday, so that's good. Congratulations, that's awesome. Moving's a beach, and I don't like moving. I did too many movings. Also, join the Phoenix Society, Phoenix Supremacy. I'm not a fox. No, thank you. So anyone here have an opinion on trying to get a main at MFF versus a further hotel? I think a commute versus the elevator con. So MFF does their elevator con a little bit better than like FWA and stuff because they have several queues. And they do have people like manning the elevators for the majority of the days into the nights. But you do have to deal with a little bit of wait. Think about this, so the wait inside is also you're negating walking time. Personally though, I have never stayed in the main. I have never been fortunate enough to get that hotel. When the room lottery comes up, it benefits you to choose the main and other further hotels as well. But this is Chicago. This is during the winter. Our winters are weird now, where sometimes they're too warm and it's raining. Sometimes they are cold and snowy. So do know that if you get one of the further out hotels, or you choose... If you guys haven't done the room lottery, basically, y'all have to register. And then it does give you... You get preference if you all lump in together in what's called a group for a room. They... by law, can't say more than 4 people per group. because you're only supposed to have 4 people per hotel room, even if it's a double. People do way more than that, you know that, but you will get a better chance in the drawing because they would rather give a hotel room away to a group of 4 that is on paper a group of 4 versus less than 4, because you're going to facilitate more people. I know the winner, only 2 hours away from Wisconsin. That 2 hours, are you in Illinois or are you in Wisconsin? My brain just broke. I'm tired. Hi. So, chat, friends of the channel, the Broomby cultists. I don't know what do we call you guys? I'm south of Madison. All right. Damn, you got to be like Illinois border then, because, or you're in Illinois, right? Because I can get to Madison in like maybe 4 hours, and I live in Central Illinois. Is it like 5 hours? Maybe it's a little bit longer than I expect. I remember Madison not being that far of a drive because as long as I don't go near Chicago, my drive's not that bad. But yeah, it's such a weird hit or miss on that. Again, like I said, you probably want to try and get your group together, get everybody registered, because if you're not registered, you can't add yourself to a group. Get yourself a group, get into the room lottery, choose all the viable hotels that you would take, because it allows you to select your preferred hotels you would like to be in, and then there's another box where if for some reason all of those hotels are out, would you consider the other hotels? Some of them are a mile away. I refuse to do a mile away cons. I've done it twice for MFF where I've been at a hotel that's a mile away. It's way too long of a walk. It kills. By day 4, day 5, depending on how long you go out to MFF, you are just beat. It's just, to me, not worth. If you are worth doing it, I'm a fursuiter. I don't think it's worth doing it. I also don't want to pay an Uber every time to avoid the walk. There's shuttles as well, but the shuttles stop at a certain time of night. Blah, 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 blah. There's just... Personally, I like to choose like one of the main... It's like it's like the main 6 that are within the area. They have the bus shuttle. But again, those don't run all night though. And I'm usually out till the early AM hours. So getting to the con's not bad. But then again, there's that whole other problem of, especially if you're a fursuiter, do you suit up and then get your Uber or shuttle over in the day? But then if you want to, I'm old, no party too late. I mean, then that definitely opens up some more opportunities for you, gray old fox, and that's good. Then maybe one of those further off hotels would benefit you more. But I prefer a little bit closer ones. The ones across the streets are pretty nice. I've never been in the main. I've been up to a couple of the rooms, but I've never stayed in a main room at MFF. I'm probably, and I've been thinking about volunteering this year, so that might also help my group get in. I don't have a group per se yet. I know Misha and Argo are really thinking about locking it in this year, just depending on how things go. And if that's true, I'm not sure if I want, like, if they're gonna be chill and want me to be roommates again. They may have other friends and other people they want to room with, which is totally valid. You can have, you have lots of friends that you could possibly room with. So I'm not going to hold them. Like, I'm not going to expect Misha to be like, oh yeah, we'll room with Solace again, I also had talked to some other people my friends out of Colorado who expressed interest of possibly going to MFF this year too. So I may be trying to get them into a room situation with me. I'm not sure, but MFF Reg is open. You can go spend your $100 down now, lock that in, and be ready for room lottery. You can Google that really quick. While I'm Googling this really quick to double check, do me a big favor, everybody. If you have something you want to talk about, if there's any, oh goodness, never mind. Holy crap, chat. Room lottery opens August 12th. So usually what happens is The room lottery opens, and then it's open for like a week or maybe 2, and then they close it, and then they do the drawing, and then it can take a few months before they get back to you. I remember when Misha got the email and me and him lost our shit last year. Yeah, it starts Tuesday. Yeah, is there anything else you guys would like to talk about this year? Or this year? Today. Hi, I'm really EP. So, I went to lay down about midnight last night. After having a lot of fun. Chitting and chatting with some friends on my off day. And I just tossed and turned till 2. I know I didn't really catch any sleep between midnight and 2. And then after 2, I woke up like every single hour, at least once. I did not get very good sleep. I actually, about an hour and a half ago, took a 5-hour energy shot to see if I could wake myself up. And I'm not going to lie, chat, I am still out of it. Like, I am still tired. Now, granted, my body is unfortunately really, like, tolerant to caffeine. I've built up a tolerance over the years. I've relied too heavily on it. And I haven't done a full, like... Basically, I need to go cold turkey and, like, reset my body off of caffeine for a while. For it to, like, really start making a difference again. But holy cow, chat, I'm an EP little guy. I'm sweepy. One of the things I could talk about is I learned, like, earlier this week that AFI is coming out with a new album this year. Like, as well. Did anyone wish Ruby a happy International Cat Day? I did not. She do be a cat, though. And it is International Cat Day. Was it yesterday or today? I can't remember. I won't lie, I am bad about following all the international days and stuff. I usually see it on a feed somewhere, and I'm like, ah. But yeah, I have a running theory that ever since the election last year, all of my bands that I grew up with, we're talking like 3 Days Grace, My Chemical Romance is back out and doing tours again. You've got, I've seen Rise Against back and around. You've got Yellow Card. There's some other bands that came out with music this year too. All American Rejects are touring randomly too. It's like all these bands that I grew up with in my teenage years and stuff are all back, and I'm like, my favorite music, my bands are coming back to help heal and fix the problems of our society. Green Day is making another resurgence. Yeah, that's crazy. How are my pets? My cat's been doing incredibly well. Ash has been doing really, really well. She's just a clingy, lovable little thing. Either that or they all need money. Well, I mean, All American Rejects were just doing house tour there for a little bit. Hey, what's up, Natalie? Welcome on in. So there's a possibility that they need money, and I'm not gonna fault them if it's the truth. But it just seems so coincidental that the music that got me through, my teenage years and stuff is now back during a pretty, trying time as well. God, the store always gets busy during the after bark now. Bark, 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 bark. Tell them to bark off and bite them. I'm a proponent of biting people nowadays. Was a pacifist before the Fire Nation attacked. But Ollie's been a really, really good boy. The best way I can describe things is with Ollie, his life has really become settled. Didn't mean to come chase. That's awesome. There was some really, really funny clips out of Misha's and I's collab stream on Wednesday and Peak. I was clipping some stuff yesterday. Because we were doing crowd control, and when me and Misha got to the Alpine, I believe it was Lore donated through crowd control to have two Scoutmasters spawn, and they did it through Misha, so they were aggro for Misha all the way to the very end of the map. end of the peak. So it was very struggling. We were struggling real tough. And we tried our best. I did not survive. We did have a little bit of help when it came to we did have a little bit help with whatchamacallit, Misha escaping at the end, but also peak was funny. I remember the end well. I was watching it back because part of me was like, maybe I could just make a bunch of clips and then cut those all together and throw them in a video. And I want to steal some from Misha's point of view because there were some goofy moments that I think look better from his point of view than mine. And when I got to the Alpine, from the start of Alpine to the end of Alpine is almost constant shit happening. And it's like, there's only little bits you could cut out and it would just feel choppy. So I don't know what to do. I might have to like go on and download the full VOD of my version, cut down what, you know, make it like quicker and non, I guess, heckin' and like non-important moments, and just like when it feels more fluffy, you know, just padding time. Cut out some of that stuff. And then I want to grab some of Misha clips and splice them in there too, so that you can kind of see his perspective during some of it. Very funny stuff though, very funny stuff. I don't take this as ego bragging, but as I was watching it and clipping through it last night, I literally messaged me, so I'm like, man, we're really entertaining. This was really funny. What's up, A. Johnson? And it was. If I could tell you to go back and watch a VOD, watching Wednesday's Misha or my VOD on Twitch, either or, is peak entertainment. It is very funny. There's a lot of shenanigans, and I think we have very good commentary. I think we do play off each other really well. I don't know when we're gonna do peak again. I think I'm gonna aim for next Saturday, not this Saturday. I think for next Saturday. Have you all heard of a game called Mage Arena? It's kind of blowing up in popularity, kind of hitting a little bit of viral status. I mean, even Smitty and some other bigger YouTubers and stuff have even come across this game. It's called Mage Arena. For all of you who may not know what the game's name is, there's, what do you call it? It's the game where you're magicians, you're like sorcerers or whatever, and but to cast your spells, you have to say the word. So to cast Fireball, you have to say Fireball in the game. Very funny. I've played it off stream. It's an open mic game because you have to be able to yell your spells at each other. The problem with that is obviously you have a bunch of non-streamers that are willing to say gamer words and awful things because it's open mic. So I'm gonna set up a collab, I think, for next Saturday, trying to get Misha in, trying to get a good group of people together, and we're just gonna do private lobbies as streamers or friends of streamers so that we can kind of vet that. And I know I'm gonna try and get as many of them as unknowledgeable of the gameplay as possible. I do know the gameplay enough, but my goal is to bring them together, do one quick match where they have to learn like as they play. It'll create chaos, I guarantee it. And then give them a round to really explain the rules and kind of what the objectives are, what's the best strategies to do, and then just have fun with it. But I think it's gonna be a really fun collab. I'm gonna try and get that set up for next Saturday. Yeah, but what's up, Bandit? Have you listened to Black Audio or Dream Car? They're Davy's side projects. I don't know who Davy is. Not 1,000%. I'm very tired. Wolf. I'm supposed to stream my own stuff tonight as well. I might have to call it. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, AFI's vocalist. Nah, not at all. I know, I guess he's got a really different look right now. I guess he looks very different than when he was back in the old days. That was kind of what I was thinking about doing on my stream, was pulling up some of the new music of all the bands that are making, all of my like fun favorite teenage bands that are now making music in 2025. Listening to them on stream, talking about it, and possibly doing some Clone Hero, but my goodness, I am struggling. Happy Fursuit Friday. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I did just post a TikTok, and you all don't have to go see it, but I do want to say, everybody here in chat, you haven't been hydrating today, go hydrate, go get your food. It's dinner time. And if you haven't, or if you forgot, take your meds today, please, 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 please. This is a little bit of a check-in from your favorite Oreo wolf, making sure you're doing all right, making sure you're doing okay. TGI Friday, you know, that's good. That's good. Hopefully we've got some cool plans this weekend. I don't know about all y'all. Does drinking coffee count as a hydrating? No, it does not. It's not necessarily dehydrating, because, and people are people think they hear about it. It's like an old wives' tale kind of myth thing, where it's like, oh, coffee's a diuretic, it actually dehydrates you. It's not enough caffeine to dehydrate you, but its hydration power is not near as hydrating as water or other hydrating drinks. So I can't say you're not hydrating, but I can say you're not doing it optimally. Bjork. Woof. It's a weird thing where I noticed that I don't actually think that I've heard anyone talk about furry music in the fandom. We could definitely check it out. North Carolina at 75. Wolf. Yeah, I know it was in the 80s here and very humid. I've taken Ollie out the last couple days today. I didn't really have time to do that. So unfortunately, Ollie did not get a nice good walk today. But I plan on doing some outdoors work tomorrow and maybe Sunday. Depends on how much I get done tomorrow. And so I'm gonna bring him out and have them a good time. You need water, you need fruit with high water content, electrolytes like sodium, potassium chlorides. Eat your bananas and watermelons be fruity. It's a very good way to hydrate while also getting very good nutrients. Yes, very high in water content fruits. Also, yes, and that's also a really big thing to understand, is it's not just hydration. Hydration involves replenishing your electrolytes too. Now granted, if you are like me, if you were like me and you were sitting at a computer desk all day long, you don't need a Gatorade. You don't need a Powerade, a Propel, any of that stuff. You don't need a sports drink, because in your day-to-day life, as somebody who sits on their butt like I do all day, you're not burning those electrolytes. And a lot of electrolytes are just sodium and sugar to help replace that. And that will cause you to just gain weight, basically, because you're just ingesting a lot of sugar and stuff you don't need. So your best is, if you do have more of a work from home job or a sitting job, is to stick more towards water. And then like snacks that replenish your energy and other things, and nutrients that give you the nutrients your body craves. But that is like, I remember people be like, yeah, I have a Gatorade, and it's like, what do you do all day? Nothing. Do you sweat at all? No, not really. You don't need a Gatorade. That is just actually adding to your body that you don't need. Maybe if you can convince yourself to even swap to your diet sodas or your zero sugar stuff, that's also a massive help for you. Because there's less calories, the less sugar. It's way better for your lower activity. It also raises blood pressure. Yes. It can, definitely. If you aren't burning sugar, if you're not burning sugar, and then you drink a bunch of sugar, your blood sugar is going to go up. So yeah, it's a big one. It's definitely a big one. Bark. Did y'all hear about the War of the Worlds movie? Let's talk about that. If y'all don't have much to talk about this weekend, I'm just gonna do yard work, keep it kind of clean. keep myself kind of chill as well. But yeah, did you all hear about the world? You go, God, it looks awful. Not only does it look awful, I mean, it sounds awful. The premise doesn't sound good. The fact that there's a full-on like Amazon Air Prime ad in the middle of the actual movie is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it cuts to like a full screen desktop of somebody ordering a USB stick. It's rough. It's rough. Oh, goodness gracious. I mean, absolutely. Ice Cube probably recorded that entire movie in one day. They probably paid him for one day. He phoned it in, and you could tell, like, with all the green screening and stuff, that you can't react very properly because you don't really know what's going on because of the script being garbage. But if I'm correct, I think this movie was supposed to come out in 2020, but it came out this year. So they've been sitting... Wait, there was a War of the Worlds movie coming out? War of the Worlds made by Amazon. And it is awful. It is currently the worst, I think, rated movie ever on Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes has had it like a 0% for a good long while, with an audience score of like a 12%. It was not good. Very bad. It's basically a big Amazon ad. So rough, very rough. Who knew? Who knew? Because I've heard talking about the opposite, something that hasn't been done in a very long time. So we've got the awful War of the Worlds. Very gross, very rough. Don't watch it, please. Don't even hate watch it. Don't hate watch it. Don't what do you call it? Terrible movie watch it and do like a drinking game. Don't give Amazon Prime the money and the viewership. This is definitely one of those things where you just stay away from it. On the opposite, I've heard if you want to go see a true comedy movie that really pays homage to its source material and franchise, is the Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson. I have only heard praise upon praise upon praise for that movie. I've heard it's obviously not every joke lands. It's not perfect. But I hear it's probably the funniest comedy movie to come out in the last decade. And I hear that instead of relying on all of the same jokes and all of the same stuff that came out of the old movies, they took inspiration from the old movies and kept it new. So you can tell this is a Naked Gun movie. It is a very, very fun Naked Gun movie. And if you want to go see a comedy, I've been told it's great. Go watch it. Go check it out. I personally probably won't go out to a theater to see it, but the second I can catch it on a streaming service, I probably will. Because I like Liam Neeson. I think his acting alone is going to do good enough, you know? So we'll see how that goes. But I am intrigued. Absolutely intrigued to see how well and how funny it is. I know currently, Fox said, I made over 50 cookies. You give half of them away to the other half to a party tomorrow. That is very sweet of you. No pun intended. Talking to awful, or at least the actor could have been in the movie was so terrible. That's like, yeah, it's rough. So you saw Fantastic Four and Superman, enjoyed them more than expected. I saw some headlines, and I think I saw the Moist Critical, the Charlie highlight of Fantastic Four. I didn't watch the video, but I saw like the title of it, and I think from my knowledge, I think the Fantastic Four movie is a good movie, but sales are really far down, and I can only express that any Marvel movie right now could be a great Marvel movie and still not do as well in the box office, because I'll tell you right now, there's a ton of people who just can't afford to go to the movies right now that aren't dedicated nor locked into watching the Fantastic Four, and or are just really not confident with the Marvel stuff. So it's you know, just kind of a sad thing, but we're kind of in that state right now where Marvel's kind of lost a lot of trust, and even if they make a good comeback movie, it's probably going to see better sales later once people drum up some confidence behind it than it is to see in the opening weeks, I think. Now, the Superman movie is obviously controversial. It shouldn't be, from my knowledge, but from what I've heard, there's some pretty wild stuff that happens in that movie. Certain leaders being dropped out of airplanes or something, and some crazy things. Pretty wild. I do want to see it. I've obviously heard like, oh, it's woke, which means nothing to me. If anything, it means I want to go watch it more. And the other thing is, I heard somebody compare it, and they said the Superman movie is just the Barbie movie but for men. So y'all who have watched it, I don't know if that's a good comparison or not, but another volcano erupting, woof. Now, I have no clue what Planet of the Fur is. I know what Planet of the Apes is, but no clue what Planet of the Fur is. I did find out on YouTube this week. I did tweet about this, or not a tweet, Blue Sky posted about this. The Barbie movie was for men. Is it bad, John? I haven't seen Barbie movie yet. Maybe I should watch the Barbie movie this weekend. See if I can't find it somewhere for cheap to rent. Stream. I've only heard really, really good things about the Barbie movie, so maybe I should. I found that on YouTube, though. It's a guilty pleasure series for me. I've always enjoyed them ever since I've watched them as a kid. I grew up as a kid. I watched a lot of horror movies. I watched a lot of like zombie movies and whatever you could possibly get. I usually didn't watch many of the ghosty movies because I don't really believe in the supernatural, so it's hard for me to take them as seriously or have as much fun with them. Lots of like Saw, Final Destination, suspense horror movies. And one of the big ones was, I never really saw the Tremors series as scary. I get what they were trying to be. I found them more of like suspenseful action movies than they were horror. Very funny movies to me. I've enjoyed all of them except for they get kind of weird towards the end of the series. There's a couple of them that kind of went straight to, I feel like they went straight to DVD or they went straight to streaming services. But all of them, like there's like 6 or 7 of them on YouTube for free. Obviously, if you have premium, you don't have to watch with ads. If you don't have premium, you can watch for free, but it'll have ads on it, just like your YouTube videos already do. But the Tremors movies were fun, so that's always something. If you ever get bored, you want to revisit, watch the Tremors series. So what's going to be the Oppenheimer if Superman? Well, Oppenheimer's. I don't think there's going to be a Barbenheimer 2.0. They just happen to come out, right? At the same time, it's not like a necessity. Because I also haven't seen Oppenheimer, but I hear it's a very good movie. But it's one of those like it wasn't like a cultural movie like Barbie is. Because that's what I hear. I hear a lot about Barbie really tackles a lot of like toxic masculinity and possibly like misogyny and stuff like that. So that's much more of a social cultural movie. Oppenheimer is, what do you call that? I want to say a glorification. But a glorification of the story of Oppenheimer and like the nuclear warheads that were used in World War II. Something about Hulk Hogan dying. Yeah, he died in good. Here's the thing. You can recognize two things at once. You can recognize that Hulk Hogan's career blasted wrestling into the cultural phenomenon that it became. His career definitely helped. But then also, he did some incredibly dirty things, and he was a terrible person. So I won't celebrate his death by any means, but it was definitely one of those things where, what do you call it? The world's a better place without him now, because he hasn't done anything constructive for society. And he's been a bad person ever since. His last things he was doing was supporting Trump, and was he was like trying to sell beer. He did a sponsorship or whatever during that one of his last, or in his last appearance, right? That's free real estate. Like I said, there's not too many people that I would ever wish that kind of like negativity towards. I was never directly affected by Hulk Hogan, and in all reality, my opinion of him doesn't really matter. I just know that he was a self-proclaimed racist. He was a very nasty person to his wife and kids, and in the last few years, he's been negative to what my own beliefs and values are, so I could care less about him and his passing. That's kind of where I sit. But it's one of those, it's a very parasocial thing. He's just some celebrity dude from a long time ago, you know, like Rog. Now Ozzy, still very parasocial, but you know, his music helped change the landscape of what we have rock as today. They helped push a lot of boundaries when it came to what's even acceptable on the radio. Really pushed standards to change, to not be so, what do you call that? I want to say stuck up, but Brian Wilson. Who's Brian Wilson? I'm scared. I gotta find out somebody else died. I got jump scared today. Brian Wilson. Oh, he's a co-founder of Beach Boys. I know the Beach Boys, that's another band that definitely pushed boundaries, that definitely helped change the landscape of music and helped, like, very socially and culturally. But I was never a Beach Boys fan myself. Just like, and this is not, I can't even call it a hot take, because music is personal. It's personal preference, right? I don't care for the Beatles. I don't really like listening to the Beatles. I would prefer to not listen to the Beatles if I have the option to. I would rather listen to something else. If you told me to choose most country music or listen to the Beatles, I would choose the Beatles, though. I am not gonna go out and say the Beatles suck, though. Like, no. It's just that's kind of how things are, you know, with music. Music is personal. Some people may like really obscure stuff that people would, in their own opinion, say sucks for them. That's the beauty of music, is it's incredibly subjective. So I think it's important to recognize, you know, and I used to be different, by the way. I used to be really stupid about music opinion. But it comes down to, sorry, my brain is struggling here, chat. I've made it this far. Wildly enough, I've made it this far, and we're doing pretty good. But play all about that one song that goes like working 9 to 5 or what do I do? That's funny. But yeah, I used to have a pretty bad view of music. I used to be like, oh, I don't care about the Beatles or stuff like that. Recognizing what certain bands did to help progress music and change things, I think is important. Recognizing we wouldn't, again, so in the same sense of like recognizing like Hulk Hogan's career, how it changed things for wrestling, but you're able to recognize that you can factually point towards, look, wrestling changed because of this. But I also like to say, in alternative universes, I like to say that if it wasn't this, it would have been something else that would have got us to a similar point. But you're right that I don't think it would ever be the same. If Ozzy never made it, it could have been a different band that came up with the Prince of Darkness, or never at all, and it could have definitely left us in a very different way. I do think we would have ended up towards this kind of musical landscape at some point, but how long? Would it look the same? Nah, there'd definitely be a little bit different for sure. Oh, bark, 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 bark. No, not play. What about, like, wait, what about? Yeah, so I think what else is going on? The pirate software stuff's really funny. If you want to talk about that drama really quick, it's been a goofy little thing. Come to find out, I don't know how much claims. There's a lot of claims out there that pirate software didn't do nearly any of the stuff he's talked about. I hadn't heard anything about a microprocessor that's 49 years old now. I'm not too sure what that's all about. But, goodness gracious, talk about people digging into his past, and it's really starting to seem like pirate software doesn't really know how to code. Never really knew how to code. Didn't really do a good job at Blizzard. Wasn't really in the sense that he was a hacker for the US government. It was more of like social engineering and phishing attempts than it was using code to hack firewalls or exploit 0-day patch points and stuff like that. The thing with in Quaddle, the way you say that, the problem is I won't lie, I actually leaned into that. I used to really enjoy Pirate Software's content because he did seem to know what he was talking about, and he was really inspiring for a lot of people. His company, or his ability to run those game jams, have inspired and helped facilitate a lot of good people out there to make games and to get into coding and to get into game dev and stuff, which is really freaking cool. And he had a lot of positivity going for him. And then you realize it's just a tower of either exaggeration or straight up lies. And that's killed his reputation. Absolutely killed his reputation. I'm not sure who would want to work with this guy anymore. And I think we talked about it. I don't think it's going to be the end of his... I don't think it's going to be the end of his career by any means. These kinds of influencers, these kinds of content creators always have stands that will back them up at all points. But, you know, it's just... it's just crazy. It's crazy to go from such a high to such a low so quickly. Insert Breaking Bad. We had a good thing meme. Right. And all it took was for him. Again, it's more shocking that this didn't blow up earlier with how egotistical he is. The inability. I mean, the other stuff. Obviously, he has a what do you call it? He has a reputation now, or like all the stuff from his past is coming out. it's a lot of stuff people just swept under the rug because he was their favorite streamer. He was their favorite streamer, or he just out talking gaslit people. And to look back and just see like, oh, it just took stuff that was verifiably wrong and incorrect to see that he was trying to save face, not to doing anything and everything he could to not take blame for anything, and then to look at his history and look at his past, and then it all just fell apart. So I will say, and this is something that really gets me, is when you're responsible for the careers of others in a company, don't be humble. Even if you don't want to apologize, you're responsible, and responsibility is to apologize. I don't care if you think it's wrong to apologize. Big Ruby. Yes, it's the Big Ruby. Well, Ruby. But yep. Does anybody else have anything cool coming up this weekend? Any plans? I know we're already in August. Pretty wild, pretty crazy. Very exciting. I definitely have a lot of plans for the back half of this year. I guess we could talk about my re-debut a little bit if anybody's interested in that. With me, with the character Solace turning 7 at the end of August, my goal is to have new assets and new things to bring to my stream. And my streaming routine has already changed and already made me feel better about streaming in general. But I realized like it has been 7 years since I've been doing Solace on Twitch, because that started in 2019. I got banned off YouTube because I did start this YouTube channel that I'm on. That was Solace the Wolf. Then I changed it to the Werewolf or a Werewolf because I wanted to do a rebranding, and then I didn't follow through with it. I did start off with Solace, and I didn't even have a fursuit at the time, just doing YouTube videos and YouTube streams, and that went very well for about 6 months. And then in 2019 I got banned for playing, I think it was like a 12-year-old clip, but it had a song in it that was copyrighted, and if you play anything copyrighted on a stream, you're like 90-day banned immediately. It happened so quick. I got an email saying they paused my stream, and then within seconds later I was banned for 90 days. So instead of fighting with YouTube, I just signed up and got Solace established on Twitch, because I have been a Twitch streamer before Solace, so I knew exactly what I had to do to get set up. Got my stuff set up on Twitch. It took me about 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes to do it. And instead of continuing on YouTube that night, I continued on Twitch. So that was back in 2019 when I did that. So we do have that 7-year anniversary coming up for my Twitch next year. But myself as Solace was created in late August of 2018. So I'm really super duper excited to clear out the repeats. That's really funny. Having an MP3 player is wild. That's awesome, by the way. So I do hope, I really do hope to bring new energy, a new love to streaming, more of a rekindled love for streaming, bringing new assets. I'm gonna start talking and figuring out some stuff. See about getting in maybe some new emotes and badges and stuff brought to the channel. Bring in some new redeems and rewards, you know, make it more fun for everybody, including myself. That's the goal. But yay, it's gonna be great. I'm supposed to start streaming right after this on my Twitch channel. I am so tired. I don't quite know what I'm gonna do yet. I should stream. I just might do a slight stream. Might do a very chill stream. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. sleep stream. That'd be so funny. Oh, that'd be so funny. Yeah, the way I look at this though, it's been a good Friday, best I could do. You know, I really do hope Ruby shows up for recording next week. Love to have some back-to-back episode with Ruby being here. But no matter what though, we will have Misha back for the after bark. Everything should be back. Another power through or power nap. I'm thinking about a power nap could be good, but I could also wake up feeling worse. So I'm not quite sure. But you know, we're really gonna hope for. We're really gonna look into, you know, being back to normal next week. Chill, chat, vibe, you know, and be some good times, okay? But I think we're gonna go ahead and start tightening up this live stream for the night. The episode lasted a little longer than expected, and I am feeling pretty beat. So I do want to say though, thank you all for being here. Thank you guys are all awesome. Y'all are amazing. We like chatting with you too though. Okay. It is definitely not the dynamic that we're used to with me just being solo here. I do appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody who stopped on by. Again, if all of y'all, you know, you're here from the premiere, you took time out of your day to catch the live episode, you came in and were hanging out and chilling in this after bark. I really appreciate you. I do want to say again, have a great rest of your Friday night, TGI Friday. Have a great rest of your weekend or start of your weekend. Go have some fun, treat yourself. You deserve it. Much love. Take care of yourselves and just, you know, have fun. Remember, life is short, so have fun. Go do something fun for yourself, something small even. I know that can be very dictated based on time and funds allowed, but even if it's your favorite candy bar, you know, go for it. Y'all are great. Y'all are amazing. It's good hanging out in the afterbark. We'll see you next time. Yep, we will be here on Friday next week with at minimum Misha and more stuff to chill and chat and hang out with. Okay, we'll all catch you later. Remember, Misha and Ruby love you guys. Trust me. They wish they could be here, but they can't. Just due to life and everything. So we will see you next time, though. Love it. Good night, everybody. Ow! Bye.